The Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad starts next week, January 10th and 11th, Friday and Saturday. It's going to be incredible. 6 of the top 10 teams in the country will be there, most notably the defending champs. And Oklahoma, the number 1 and 2 team in the country, will be facing off at 4 p.m. Eastern time on ABC on Saturday. But we've got some great notable meets throughout the season. This is just 6 of them. But again, you can see bottom left of your corner, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day here in Baton Rouge, because the Sooners are coming to town, the new member of the SEC. So all these great meets, tune into all the family of ESPN networks. It's going to be an amazing season. Sam, every season's exciting. Every season the hype seems to build more and more, but we just came off an Olympic Games. We were there. We saw that energy and excitement, and it seems like that Olympic energy has just bled into this collegiate season. I
completely agree. The presence from the Olympic Games now being represented here in college gymnastics is incredible. It's the most that it's ever been. Currently, 10 NCAA gymnasts competed in this past Olympic Games, and Cecile Landy, who's now the co-head coach at the University of Georgia, was coach to Simone Biles and helped Team USA to that gold medal. So now, speaking of LSU, they had a lot of Olympic contenders as well. Aaliyah Finnegan qualified as the first Olympic gymnast for Team Philippines since 1964. And bringing that energy here today, Connor McLean was certainly in the hunt as she finished third on beam at Classics just after Simone Biles and Suni Lee, but unfortunately couldn't continue the meet after suffering an injury. Kalia Lincoln had an impressive elite season, especially coming back from an injury in May to qualify as an alternate for Team USA. And of course, Lexi Seitz is a 2-time national team member, was part of that 2022 World Championship team that won gold. She had an ankle injury about a year ago, but came back to make an Olympic run competing in the U.S. Championships this past June.
It is going to be fun season to watch. Cecile Landy at Georgia. I think a lot of people are curious to see how that goes. Well, here in Baton Rouge, LSU to floor, Iowa State to beam to finish this one out. Record opening crowd here in Baton Rouge, and you felt the energy right from the get-go. They raised the banner. There was the fireworks. There was fire. I singed my eyebrows. It was amazing. But what a place to start the season. And LSU having a very solid competition. Neither one of these teams obviously perfect. It's early in the year, but LSU on pace for a score of 197 plus.
And it's really remarkable to think that they don't even have Haley Bryant in these lineups. Connor's not on a couple events, so they're not firing on all cylinders in terms of their depth here, and it's really not showing, which is a good sign for them.
Senior Hannah Loyal will get things started on balance beam. That's where Iowa State will finish the competition. And again, a very comfortable lead. You can see bottom right of your screen, 145.375 for Iowa State, 147.8 for LSU. In the world of gymnastics, an almost 2.5-point lead is a massive lead. If you think a fall is a half a point, that means theoretically LSU could fall 5 times and still maintain that lead. The outcome of the meet is not in question, but something certainly both of these teams want to build, finish strong. I think in particular Iowa State on balance beam.
Yeah, this is their best event, and Hannah Loyal is an athlete that you want to lead you off. She has never fallen once, and she's been in every single meet on beam. Tough to do. Front leg gets straight. She really needs to keep that bent so she has pressure down on the beam in what we call a lunge position. Good routine to get things going for Iowa State on beam. This is a comfortable event for them. So they're going to want to finish on a high note here.
And this is an event Ashley Miles-Green, the head coach, thinks that could be one of the best lineups in the country by the time they put it all together and they get to the end of the season. So something to watch here, and again, something to build on for Iowa State here in this last rotation. Sierra Ballard now will lead things off. We saw her lead off on balance beam, had that fall, unfortunately, but this is an event too. She can absolutely fly, has a big double layout opening pass.
She's what they call a cruise director. She's a very vocal leader, so much enthusiasm, and in this routine just commands the floor. Double layout, very easy for her. LSU was ranked first on the floor last year, and it's because they have leadoff athletes in routines like that one.
Dee Bro's loving it. And I think I said this last year, Sam, about Sierra. She leads off this LSU lineup on floor, but she could anchor most teams in the country on this event, and that is saying something. And that performance right there, you can't get a better opening performance on floor than that one.
No.
Lorna Brockton now on the balance beam. The sophomore follows a 9.575 for Hannah Lorium.
This is the only event she does, and she was in every meet last year and made all of them except one. That's the difficulty. That handspring layout triple series, that's extremely difficult. It's the series that we saw from Aaliyah Finnegan in the last rotation. Their beat coach, Haley Young, told me that since this is the only event that she does and she trains, she actually does 2 rotations of beam a day. That's a lot. It's really helped her become so solid and consistent on this event. With a lot of power on that dismount. Gonna learn to relax and bend her knees on the landing, but great routine.
2 hits in the books for the Iowa State Cyclone on this balance beam rotation. 4 left to go for them. Sierra Ballard on floor exercise for LSU, a 9.85. I don't think the crowd liked that one too much. Chase Brock now, the senior from Atlanta, Georgia. Out of Gymnastics Training Center. Atlanta area, second chance to go here, 5th-year senior.
She's an athlete that we really just see improve over her time here at LSU. Competing more in the back half of her time than when she started. Man, I saw her nail a good one in warm-ups. A little low on the landing there. efficient for it being early in the season.
Here's another look at that first pass, Sam.
Look at her chest position when she lands. You see it's parallel to the ground. It actually needs to be vertical, but she does a really good job pulling it up quickly to save it at the end.
And it looked like she had enough, but you can see her legs kind of open. Maybe just a quarter of a flip a little early.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it may have been a perfect landing. Noelle Adams now on balance beam. Lauren Obrachta, a very good 9.7. Again, scores building similar to how Iowa State went on the floor exercise. Scores built through to the end.
Second layout series. She's the athlete that the coaches really couldn't stop talking about. They had so many nice things to say about her. She just really has that it factor and elevated the entire level of competitiveness of this Iowa State team.
14 individual event titles for her last year. That was the most of any Cyclone.
I mean, the ultimate compliment to be a culture changer for this team. Her and the rest of her sophomore class, they said, not only is her gymnastics really solid, but it's the personality, the energy and enthusiasm she brings to the sport that's really contagious with this team. Bright things to come for Noelle.
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing, Sam. You're going to see a lot of great gymnastics out of Noelle Adams. Just a young career, just starting her sophomore season. Olivia Dunn will be next on the floor exercise. She follows Chase Brock's 9.875. Not bad for a gymnast who hasn't done floor exercise in a competition since 2023, Sam, in Chase Brock.
Olivia is the number 6 returning scorer on floor. And check out this first pass. She has a double layout, but we're gonna see a front tuck through to a double back. It's extremely powerful. Coaches say they're always so pleasantly surprised. She has so much poise and grace. You don't think she would be as powerful as she is. Slow-mo replay here, but nicely done. She just looks so well-conditioned this year.
So much talk about NIL and all of Olivia Dunn's social media following of 14+ million people, but let's not forget she's a tremendous athlete, and Jay Clark has not been able to say enough positive things about her this year and what he thinks she's going to add to that team in the lineup this season as well. Here we go with Rachel Wilk. Fourth up, following Noelle Adams, 9.775.
Your arms have to continue to move for that connection. That was towing the line. I think they were still doing a continuous motion. The heartbeat of this team, been such a good leader. They said she's not everybody's favorite athlete during preseason, but she's always everyone's favorite at the end of season.
Good job from Rachel Wilk. Coming up next, the SEC Now team will have all the highlights, interviews, and full breakdowns of our meet and the Missouri quad meet. On this, the first night of the gymnastics season right here on the SEC Network. Olivia Dunn matches Chase Brock's 9.875. Now Amari Drayton, another gymnast with a huge opening pass in.
You can almost count how many seconds she's in the air. Wow.
We're sitting about 10 feet away from where that just happened, and by my gauge, I could have stood upright underneath that double layout and she wouldn't have touched me.
Short on that landing. Sometimes at the beginning of a season, you don't necessarily have the repetitions on the hard floor to build that air awareness yet. Certainly not because she's not powerful enough. We're going to expect to see that routine continue to improve. Just the chest down on the last pass, but this was such a highlight for me. Does a good job stretching her hips on that layout position. And check it out, just opens too early on the double back, has to step forward. That's a deduction. If you step back, it's not a deduction.
Speak with associate head coach Courtney McCool-Griffith, just named the associate head coach in December. Got a conference on the balance beam. We've seen a lot of trophies in women's gymnastics, the stick crown and different things like that. Iowa State's got a unique one, Sam.
Yeah, it's the GOAT trophy, and it goes to the person with the best hit percentage of the week. And the interesting thing is that you can challenge for the trophy at any time. So Haley Young, their beam coach, has an Excel spreadsheet that she keeps track of their hit percentages, no wobble routines, and stick routines. And she said, honestly, they all have great stats and percentages. They all feel so comfortable and swaggy on this event. They're hoping that it transfers to all the other events.
Nothing says swaggy like a GOAT trophy.
It's really tough to be the most confident on beam as well. So it's kind of special they're finishing on such a high pressure event when this is their strongest.
Actually, that might be my favorite trophy. We've seen a lot of them. There's like the stick, there's the stick crown, the stick boa.
How do you think we get one? That's all I want to know.
It's got to have a GOAT involved in it, though, for sure. We have a conference on the balance beam, rating for Rachel Wilk's score. Thomas will be the fifth gymnast to go. There it is, a 9.725. So does not build from the previous score, but nonetheless, nice run of scores here. 4 hit routines with 2 hopefully big numbers for Iowa State to finish out this beam rotation.
Let's go! Wow! You got this one!
Here we go with Lauren Thomas.
Let's go! This beam routine right here is one of the biggest reasons she's back for a figure. Let's go, Thomas! She likes to play hangman with Lauren, with Josie to calm her nerves. of the key indicators to a great beam worker is where you're looking. So you can see her eyes right now, and they're glued to the end of the beam. That really helps you stay centered and balanced.
And in case you're wondering what it's like to be on top of the beam, that was a great shot of the long axis of the beam and how wide, or should I say how narrow it really is.
And you can tell she just is comfortable, really doing a nice job being patient with those landings. Beautiful toe point and artistry. Job well done. Lauren Thomas. That routine is a big reason she's back, and she did her job. Couldn't have done much better than this. And to finish it with a stick, first meet of the season, you can tell they've done their numbers.
Amari Drayton, another 9.875 for LSU. Kaylin Shio, the fifth gymnast to go. Coming into this rotation, Kaylin Shio trails Aaliyah Finnegan in the all-around by 0.125. Wouldn't that be something for the freshman? To knock off the Olympian senior in her debut as an LSU Tiger. She's going to have to be great here, though.
Opens, tuck full in. Veteran move, really hangs on to the landing. Takes no extra steps.
And the athletes are allowed that step out of their landing, but it's got to be a controlled step. And that one, Sam, I think a little quick, probably a deduction. Your thoughts?
Yeah, a little off balance from her upper half of her body, but the lower half did a nice job holding firm with those feet. All I can say is how comfortable she looks competing here. I mean, you would never know that she was a freshman. She's engaging the crowd. She's not overworking her tumbling. I'm impressed. Let's get another look at that first pass. This is called an E-pass. Means it's more difficult. She doesn't move her feet, but that upper body looked a little off-centered. Combination pass to finish things off. I think she should be proud of herself. First all-around competition as a freshman.
I think it's going to be all smiles for Kaylin Shio after this one. Could not ask for a much better debut. Now the anchor for the Iowa State Cyclones on balance beam. Josie Bergstrom to slot. Follows Lauren Thomas is a 9.8. Great rotation for the Cyclones.
Told me a great story about Josie. She came in freshman year and told her that she was a meat baby. And Haley asked, what do you mean by that? And she says, you put me in and I will make my routine. Unfortunately, Haley said that's not how it works. You gotta put it in the work every single day. And she did. She's made 51 of 54 routines just since October of this past year. That's why she's won the most GOAT trophies of the entire team. Been a great leader for this team and really earned this anchor spot. Really looking for that All-American status on this event this year. is their strongest event. They have so much confidence. You can see it in their eyes when they salute.
Ashley Miles-Grigg, the head coach, will not be happy with how they started the meet, but I think the way they got themselves together, gathered themselves, and then the way they finished is certainly something she's going to be thrilled with and something they're going to build on as they head into the rest of the season. Great finish for Iowa State. Aaliyah Finnegan getting some words from Courtney McCool-Griffith before she goes on the floor exercise. She'll be the last gymnast here to go. She will follow Kaylin Chio's 9.925. She has been outstanding tonight. She needs better than a 9.8 to get the all-around title. Away from Kaylin Chio, who has it right now. 9.8 will tie. Better than a 9.8 for the outright win. And here's what I think is amazing, Sam. As great as Aaliyah Finnegan has been throughout her career, a 9.875 on this event will tie her best all-around score from 2024. It's January 3rd, I believe, if my calendar is correct.
They say she's better than ever. She's gotten 5 perfect 10s on this event in her career. Can she add another one to her resume? See that mat in for her first pass. That is not a deduction, just extra padding for her body. Getting some love from Haley Bryant. The crowd is fired up. Last routine for LSU. So fun to watch, and I can't believe with how limited their roster has been, how well they've performed in competition. Just speaks to the depth of this entire team. And look at that, double Arabian to a stag, textbook.
Perfect.
Finishes 2.5 twists to a front tuck, works out of it, shows some swag. It's going to be a big score for Aaliyah Finnegan.
We're going to take a breath. What a great finish for both of these teams. Iowa State, LSU finishing strong on that last rotation, but it was all LSU tonight. We're going to wrap things up when we come back. Finnegan finished with a 9.95 on floor exercise. She gets the all-around title there. But how about Kaylin Chio? 39.575, almost takes out the senior, but LSU, they get the win. And it's the first time they broke 197 since 2018 in their debut. Aaliyah Finnegan will be joining SEC now. You want to hear from her. But we get the head coach, Jay Clark. I imagine, Jay, you got to be happy with how things went today. Give us your assessment.
Let's hear me. There we go. Yeah. I'm really proud of them. I just told them, I circled them up. I said they did a great job. They didn't allow themselves to get distracted by anything. We had little mistakes here and there, and that's supposed to happen in the first meet on January 3rd. But maybe in my time here, that might be the most complete first meet that we've put together, and I'm just really proud of the effort and the way they went about their business tonight and got this crowd involved in it.
You told the athletes a lot to focus on the 5 minutes in front of their face. So what's the focus now that you've had such a successful first meet of the season?
Well, right now I'm going to get them off their feet for a day, and then we start getting ready for the next one. And the 5 minutes in front of our face starts again Sunday. So, you know, it's just one day at a time. That's worked well for us, and it's not something that we want to get out of that rhythm. I think it serves them well to just stay present. And you hear coaches say that all the time, but the reason coaches say it all the time is because it's true.
Well, congratulations on a good opening meet, Jay. We're looking forward to watching you guys the rest of the season.
Guys, thank you. Grateful for the coverage. Thanks so much.
Upcoming meets here on the ESPN networks. Michigan, Denver. I think, Sam, we're going to be there Sunday. Don't miss that one. And then, of course, next weekend, the 10th and 11th, the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad is going to be fantastic. And, man, it just never ends here in the SEC. Florida versus LSU, January 17th as well. Kaylin Chio, by the way, scored a 39.575. For those watching at home, Haley Bryant's debut was a 39.6. You're right, Sam. Great things to come for Chio. Outstanding job for her. Once again, our final score here in Baton Rouge is 197-3 for the LSU Tigers, 194-1 for the Iowa State Cyclones. For Sam Pesek and our entire crew, I'm John Roethlisberger. So long from Baton Rouge. Now let's get you to the studio and SEC Now.